lacks common sense. Okay, cool. Well, today we're going to be talking about someone who may even lack more common sense than that. We're going to be talking about the man of the hour, Andy, former CEO of a company called Astronomer.io, who has just gone viral across the internet. See, Andy had a problem. He was caught cheating on his wife with the head of HR at his company. And he got caught because he ain't got no common sense. So here's how it started. Okay, so Andy walks into HR and he talks to the head of HR and says, "Hey, Kristen, what's good?" And she says, "Hey, handsome." And he says, "Don't call me that at work, but here's how we're going to hold it down. We're going to go to this Coldplay concert in public and no one's going to catch us." Okay, that's common sense mistake number one. Going to a public concert. So then someone comes in and says, "Hey, these documents you wanted, Andy." And then he's like, "Oh, oh." And then he takes the documents and says, "Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you." And then he leaves. Now, they get to the concert, right? And the lead singer stops singing and he announces and gives everyone a warning and says, "Just so y'all know, we're about to fire up the giant Jumbotron right there, which might show some of y'all in the audience." Now, Andy goes, "What's a Jumbotron? Is that like a giant robot?" And then Kristen's like, "You're so funny, Andy. No, no, babe. They're literally filming people in the audience and putting them on the big screen." And he goes, "Oh, that's cool. Let's watch and see." Common sense mistake number two. They decide to stick around while the Jumbotron comes in and shows people, which may include them. Okay, so the camera pans to them, the audience sees them, Coldplay sees them, and then immediately Kristen covers her face in shame and then turns her back and then rushes away. Andy has like a couple more seconds to react. He's not sure what to do, and then he rushes off in the opposite direction, and this looks really shady. Now, the lead singer of Coldplay, he's seen that and he's like, "Okay, that's there's definitely something shady going on here. Either they're just really shy, or they're having an affair." Now, it turns out it is the opposite, and this is mistake number three. A lot of people are saying that had they simply kept their cool, if just one of them kept their cool, no one would have investigated this and found out their identities and then exposed it to the internet. But because they were acting so shady, the internet got hold of this video, and then the internet detectives did their due diligence, as they always do, and they found out the true identities of these people and found out that they were cheaters and exposed it to the internet, which rightfully they should. I mean, this is a terrible thing to do. Now, here's the thing. If they just sat like normal people, no one would have cared. Sure, but I think the fallout from this has been crazy, and we're kind of missing the main moral of the story here. This thing hit the front page of every every social media portal. There were memes on LinkedIn, memes on Instagram, X, you name it. I had never seen memes on LinkedIn united like that around a common cause since World War II. Now, safe to say that they both took administrative leave, and then Andy resigned, aka got booted from the company. Astronomer put out a statement saying how this was inappropriate and they're doing their investigation and so on and so forth. But really, what's the real moral of the story? What do you take from this? Uh, could this have been avoided had Andy used some common sense? I think we're missing the main point here. I think everyone has a different opinion. Some may even say something atrocious like cheating is fine, and he just didn't use common sense. And if he had, he would have kept going. I think that is not the point here. I think the point is, first and foremost, if you can, whenever you can, as most religions and moral standards of conduct recommend, cheating and affairs and adultery are just not good things and not ethical things to do. So you should generally avoid doing it to begin with. It's not about, whether or not you could have avoided getting caught or not. I think first and foremost is being a good person, choosing to have good values and behaving and not lying, stealing and cheating to begin with, which would have solved this from the get go. That being said, he did make a lot of hilarious common sense mistakes that just made this so much funnier and made it go very viral on the internet. I, for one, am a bit appalled, not at Andy, not at Kristen, but at people in general, because I think a lot of them just lack ethics. I've seen them lack ethics, and uh, they're willing to toe the line. And while there are honest and good people, I think there's a lot more of them that are willing to lie and cheat and steal themselves. And because of that, um, I just feel like there's probably hypocrites out there, and I think it's most important to be that person because I think it's a much rarer thing than you think. I feel like I've seen so many people lie. I remember being at this one company many years ago, and I didn't stay there long. This was back when I worked in hospitality, and after like a year and a half in, I was like, I think I've seen every single one of these coworkers except these two steal something, whether it was food, a snack, or something from the company. And the two that didn't, one was very Christian, and the other was just very nice and polite, and came from Ethiopia. So it was very much a tragedy when I saw that, and I just feel like there's such a lack of honest people who are truly someone who's honest and all this stuff. So I mean, I think that's the big thing. But safe to say, that's what happened. Now, another fun part of the story is people have been commenting how Andy's wife is pretty attractive, and he basically downgraded for this, which is another thing. Why do men do this? Probably genetics, evolution, their need for variety, even if that variety is of a lesser quality. But it is kind of sad. I think it's also kind of sad that he chose to do this with someone who may not even have been close to as hot as his wife. So that's it. We're going to stop talking about this now, and hopefully this is a lesson to you uh, to help keep your professional life as successful as possible and your personal life. Thanks for watching.